Welcome to the Napoleonic Wars, one of the most intense, brutal, and revolutionary series of battles in European history. Today, we're diving into one of Napoleon's greatest victories, the Battle of Friedland in 1807, where a single day decided the fate of empires. It's June 1707. Europe has been on fire for nearly 5 years. Napoleon Bonaparte, the brilliant and ambitious Emperor of France, is reshaping the map of Europe with each battle, and he's gained a reputation as one of the most formidable military minds the world has ever seen. But he isn't without opposition. The powerful Russian Empire, led by Tsar Alexander I, has no intention of letting Napoleon dominate the continent. Friedland, a small town in Prussia, is where Napoleon would meet the Russian army in a climactic showdown. Napoleon knew that if he could lure the Russians here, he could exploit the narrow terrain between the river and the town. And that's exactly what he did. The Russian commander, General Bennigsen, took the bait and moved his troops into a precarious position. The Russians were outnumbered, trapped between the river and a stronger French army. Little did they know, they were walking right into Napoleon's trap. Napoleon was a master of timing and patience. He allowed the Russians to cross the Al River and assemble, making them think they had the upper hand. But while they scrambled to get organized, Napoleon held his elite units back, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. At midday, with the scorching summer sun blazing down, Napoleon gave the order. His artillery, strategically positioned, unleashed a devastating bombardment on the Russians. Within moments, chaos erupted on the battlefield. Now, imagine yourself on the battlefield. The deafening roar of cannons, smoke everywhere, Russian soldiers scrambling, while the French infantry moves in like a tidal wave. This was a moment of sheer panic for the Russian troops. Napoleon's forces pressed hard. Cavalry charges shattered Russian lines, and with the river at their backs, the Russians had nowhere to retreat. By the day's end, the Battle of Friedland was a devastating loss for Russia. Thousands lay dead, and those who survived fled, many forced to cross the river, only to be met with artillery fire. The Russian army was utterly crushed. This decisive victory led to the signing of the Treaty of Tilsit, which established Napoleon as the dominant ruler of Europe. For a moment, it seemed that nothing could stop him. Friedland wasn't just a military victory, it was a turning point. Napoleon reached his zenith, but the Battle of Friedland also foreshadowed his later struggles. The very tactics that made him unstoppable would eventually lead him into disaster in the Russian campaign a few years later. It's fascinating to think that the seeds of Napoleon's eventual downfall were sown during his greatest victories. So, what do you think? Was Napoleon a genius strategist, or did he simply get lucky at Friedland? Comment below with your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe for more captivating stories from the Napoleonic Wars. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this deep dive, and click the bell so you never miss an update.